Well, the festive season can be the most joyous time for many, while others, it's extremely stressful and can be a lonely time. Are You OK? It's a national suicide prevention charity and registered public health promotion that inspires people to stay connected. And joining us live is mental health peer support worker Glenn Cotter. Glenn, thank you for joining us. Great to see you. And how are you and how are you feeling for, with the festive period coming up?
Thanks, Janie. It's always a pleasure to come on and have a chat. How am I feeling? I'm looking forward to Christmas, but I'm also a little bit wary that Christmas is a time that really does challenge a lot of people. And I think it's important that we talk about how we try and look after each other and our loved ones over this time.
It sure is. And we've just been reporting, Glenn, the emergency warnings in Victoria in the lead up to Christmas Day and people having to leave their homes. And that's just one big example of how people are suffering. So, it is a wonderful time of year. We see the lights and Santa, but for so many people, there's a lot of pressure, isn't there, to catch up with people or to have to leave your animals behind and race to shelter if you are in a fire. Absolutely.
And for us, that just triggers, especially down through the Bega Valley where we are, that just triggers, the 2020 bushfires. And it's a time of year that people are on edge, as it is. But again, as we said, it's a time of year that should be festive, it should be enjoyable, but with everything happening around us, with uncertainty, with interest rates and cost of living and people feeling like they have to be, in that festive spirit, it's a hard time. And for a lot of people, it's not necessarily a fun time.
And I know you've spoken openly and you are always willing to share your personal story and what it meant to you and how you came to appreciate one special person. Do you mind sharing your story?
Absolutely, because for me, it's the backbone of what Are You OK is that, at my darkest point, and I've been openly honest about the fact that I was going through periods of suicidality, that one mate would just continually bring me on a regular basis and ask me if I was okay. And not necessarily around the Are You OK message, but just in day-to-day life. And, I would always say that I was because I was too proud and too stupid to admit I needed help. Mid-60s white Australian male, we're all good. But he got me on a day where, I just wasn't. And I had to actually put my hand up and say, mate, I really need help. And in hindsight, I don't know where I'd be or even if I would be if I hadn't have made that call to ask for help. And it's the hardest thing I've ever done, but it was simple, really, to say, mate, I need help. And he was just there. He just said, let's go and have a cup of coffee and let's just sit and talk. And I think that's what we try and encourage people is to, check in on their mates and just ask. And you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be, a caseworker or a psychologist. You've actually just got to let them know you care and you'll sit and talk and listen. And that's what we really need to do is learn how to listen.